Hi guys, welcome to Counterpoints. My name is Connor, and today we're going to be breaking down the brand new HORUS HERESY cinematic. It is beautiful with a healthy chunk of violence and lore, and so I'm ecstatic to break it down for you today. This episode is brought to you by Hawkins & Company. Everything today is soulless and mass-produced, but not the wallets from Hawkins & Company. They're hand-stitched in the United States from some of the finest locally produced leather and come in a variety of styles and configurations. I carry the bifold wallet daily, but they also have trucker and biker-style wallets available. Use code Counterpoints at checkout and get 15% off your order. Get a wallet that's manly, rugged, and refined, all at the same time, today.
I was there when he painted this. An oddity among his schematics and calculations. Yet, this seemed to help him. A way he could express the enormity of his plan. Not if the legions are successful. It depends on how deep the rot goes.
We are greeted by the Sister of Silence, Knight Commander Janicia Kroll. Kroll won many honors during the Unification War's Great Crusade and even participated in the burning of Prospero. She was there at the formation of the Sisters of Silence, a unit of female psychic nulls charged with overseeing the Imperial tithe of Psychers in fighting warp-based threats. Flanking her is another subject of legend, Captain General Constantine Valdor, the first of the Custodian Guard. Where Space Marines are mass-produced demigods of war, Custodians are genetic mastery manifest. Custodians take multiple lifetimes of energy to create, and each one of the 10,000 were selected by the Emperor himself. As mortal men compare to Space Marines in stature, strength, and speed, Space Marines are compared to the Primarchs. As Space Marines are compared to their Primarchs, the Custodians are compared to the Emperor. It is therefore stated multiple times that the armor, arms, and skill of Custodians can beat all but the very best of the Astartes, and several of them are even likely able to take down a Primarch. Among the 10,000, there are none more loyal or more dedicated to the Emperor's vision than Constantine Valdor. He dedicated his life and the lives of his men to the dream of the Imperium. Both marvel at the Emperor's painting of his galactic rule. The psychic beacon of the Astronomicon, planets, Space Marines, and loyal subjects are depicted in golden splendor. Constantine Valdor remarks that it is an oddity compared to the schematics and calculations his master is normally dedicated to. The Emperor is the ultimate human being, immortal, psychically powerful, a master geneticist, artificer, and battlefield commander. The Emperor spent far more time crafting the genetics of his warriors than he did any artistic pursuit, but as Constantine remarks, the paintings seem to communicate the greatness of his ambition. The HORUS Heresy is set at the 30th millennium. Humanity had already conquered the stars, but its civilization was shattered by a cybernetic rebellion known as the War with the Men of Iron, and 5,000 years of warp storms and madness known as the Age of Strife. The Emperor created the Custodes, the Marines, and allied with Mars in order to reunite galactic humanity through a great crusade to form an enlightened and glorious Imperium. Knight Commander Kroll seems to remark on the fragility of the artwork, noting that they are staring at paint upon glass. She states the 16th Legion, led by Horus Lupercal, threatened to shatter the Gilded Lie, also known as the Imperial Truth. The Imperial Truth was the foundation of the Great Crusade. It held that the universe was rational, knowable, and that secular and enlightened analysis of the galaxy made it conquerable. Of course, there may be monsters in the warp, but they were aliens or tricks of the mind, not gods to be worshipped. There's conflicting lore, but if the Emperor's vision is to be understood, this is a shadow of that understanding. The warp is an emotional echo of reality where the emotions and souls of the material world reverberate, creating incredible energy. Some of that energy became so powerful that it gained sentience, which is how the Chaos Gods were born. The Emperor took a portion of power from the Chaos Gods, promising to eventually rule humanity in their name. The Emperor instead hoarded this power and used it to his own ends. The Emperor aimed to unite humanity, starve the gods of power by denying them worship, create a human webway to safeguard human travel through the warp, and then rule over a new, enlightened, hopeful golden age. Horus Lupercal, a Primarch and the War Master of Imperial forces, was mortally wounded by a demonic plague of the Plague God and was given a choice. On one hand, Horus could die for the lie that there were no gods and allow his father to purge some of his brothers to become the unchallenged ruler of humanity. Alternatively, Horus could be gifted a similar power to that of his father, live, and fulfill the oath his father had broken. Unable to allow himself to die, unable to allow his brothers to be purged, unable to resist the temptations of power, Horus accepted the gift of the Dark Gods and launched a great war against the Imperium. His ultimate goal was to become supreme ruler of the galaxy and the champion of chaos. On Isstvan III, Horus Lupercal deployed suspected loyalist parts of the Sons of Horus, Death Guard, World Eaters, and Emperor's Children's legions, and then slaughtered them with virus bombs. After a cleanup operation, Horus then entrenched on the planet of Isstvan V, waiting for the Emperor's judgment. This cinematic is of that battle. It was expected that 7 legions of the Astartes would descend on Isstvan V and kill Horus's rebellion in its infancy, but this was not to be. The Alpha Legion Night Lords, Word Bearers, and Iron Warriors were swayed to Horus's cause, and in turn betrayed the Raven Guard, Iron Hands, and Salamanders. As the legions deployed, the Loyalists were surrounded and butchered from all sides. Traitors did fall, but within a few hours, 90% of 3 Loyalist legions were wiped out. This battle was named the Dropsite Massacre of Isstvan V and was a critical moment in the heresy. We see an armored column of the Salamander's Legion deploy into the war zone. A Fellblade tank, a powerful war machine, is brought down by concentrated fire from an Arachne emplacement. The Fellblade is armed with twin accelerator cannons that use vacuum technology to fire shells at hypervelocity. It also boasts a Demolisher siege cannon, and either quad bolters or quad las cannons, making it capable of taking on even Titans. The Arachne is no slouch though, with energy shielding and 4 Heracles pattern autocannons designed to punch through armor and heavy infantry. With the Fellblade knocked out, a squad of Salamanders in Mark II Crusade armor deploy from a Land Raider and disintegrate an Iron Warrior Centurion's servo skull. Disintegrators are Dark Age of technology weapons of unknown energy source that atomize their targets instantaneously. The Iron Warriors seem to have the edge as the ambush continues before terrifying reinforcements arrive. Saturnine Terminators.
The attack failed.
How many?
Half of the legions now stand with Horus.
You're surprised?
In the end, I suppose not. Do you wonder if they might be right? Many will sympathize with their rebellion.
I am the Emperor's spear. What I think doesn't matter.
What now, then?
We make ready for a war that may never end.
Saturnine Terminator armor was once a community meme based on early art and early miniatures of Space Marines that have massive pauldrons. Games Workshop took this as a challenge and redesigned these tactical turtles into something that's actually pretty cool. Rather than coming from the forges of Mars, this pattern hails from the tech enclaves of Saturn. Due to difficulty in manufacturing, these remained a rare design throughout the Great Crusade. Primarch Vulcan of the Salamanders, a lover of the Forge, perfected the design, and ever the helpful brother gifted them to all the legions, including the traitors before the fall. This armor is more ponderous than Cataphracti or Tartarus armor, but makes up for that in resilience. The pattern has reinforced armor, advanced shielding, and teleporter synchronizers, making for more accurate jumps. A Saturnine Dreadnought joins the fray, even larger and more terrifying than its Leviathan cousin. The Terminators and Dreadnought change the tides of the engagement using disintegrator cannons and a Grav Flux Bombard to blast apart the Iron Warriors. The Iron Warrior's console is not deterred, slaughtering loyalists with his bolter and power maul. He charges a Dreadnought, firing a Comba Melta into its sarcophagus, although there is a red beam that suspiciously looks like a Volkite weapon. Constantine is looking over the Imperial Palace when he is met by Malcador the Sigillite, the Emperor's spy master and closest confidant. The Sigillite informs Valdor that a full 9 legions have turned against the Emperor, and their shattering of the Gilded Lie will find favor with swaths of the Imperium. Constantine is not stirred, as he was and always will be the Emperor's spear, and he fears they must prepare for a war without end. If you want to support the channel, please remember to like the video, share it with your friends, ring the bell for new videos, and comment for the comment gods. Your viewership alone helps me in the algorithm and is appreciated. If you want to take your support a bit further, please remember to become a YouTube member or join us at patreon.com/counterpoints. Check out the other videos on the channel, support our sponsors, and I'll catch you in the next one. Until the end.